Yo, what's up guys? It's Vader and I'm back, and I've got a really special video for you guys today. Since I did a review on this guy, and obviously I have the newer version, I thought that I would get straight into it and do a comparison of the two and basically like talk about their pros and cons basically, because I did this with the old Wolf Predator, comparing him with the new one as well, and I did get a lot of views on that one, but I'm not really doing it for the views. I'm just basically doing it to show you guys that are probably like collecting these Hot Toys Predators, or like new to collecting them, because a lot of people have been like collecting the newer ones, and that's not to say that the new ones are bad. I actually really do like the newer ones as well, but there's just something nostalgic about like these ones, like just putting them together and stuff, and that's basically what I want to talk about in this video today. So what I'm going to do now is bring you guys over here, and we'll take a look at first at the old Scar Predator. Now, like most of the older Preds from, I think they were like released in like 2006 to like, I can't even remember, I think it was like 2010 they stopped basically making this style, and obviously moved on to like making it look how these ones look. So yeah, what I want to talk about first, like I mentioned, is these ones are not basically these ones are more articulated than the newer ones, because they're basically model kits. You have to put them together. But with the newer ones as well, there are some assembly, but obviously not as much as these ones. It's like they've like sacrificed the articulation for, obviously, as you can see, more detail, and I'm all for that. Honestly, I am all for that with the Predators, especially when you just look at the overall presence this guy has. I've actually modified these dreads. I've repainted them to be a bit more accurate, because out of the box they're all just the one colour. I've left some of them, as you can see here, I've left some of them like that kind of copperish colour there. They're supposed to be like a mix between silver, copper and gold. So yeah, what I'll do first, right, is we'll move on to the actual stuff. So like I mentioned, the older ones are basically just model kits. Like you can pose this guy in any way, shape or form you want, and he'll basically stay in that. With the newer ones, they're kind of limited, and like I mentioned in the review of this guy, the one thing that's really good about this one is the fact that you get an articulated hand. With the newer ones, what they started doing was actually started doing this with the actual mandibles, so you can like have them like closed mandibles or opened mandibles. However, with the older ones, I hope his head doesn't fall over I'm doing this. Yeah, with the older ones, it's just basically a single sculpt that you get. And to be honest, I actually do like the actual facial expression on the older one, as I mentioned, compared to how the newer one looks. And I'll just demonstrate that right now. So before I move on to the actual face of the newer Scar, I'll give you guys a little look and comparison of the two helmets. This is the older one, and for the time this was okay, I guess. The only thing that I really thought was a bit weird about the older ones was the fact that they had giant fucking heads. It's only on the AVP ones I would say that they're kind of like that. And the thing I like about his dreads is they're actually like posable dreads. On the newer ones they just fall flat, more realistic basically. But these ones are actually like posable, but there is like a way that you can actually get them to be like how the newer ones are. And I do think this is actually off of the it's either off of the McFarlane Predator one or the McFarlane Scar. I don't think these are actually the actual ones that you get with this one, because obviously I got this guy used, but the seller actually did include the actual stuff that he comes with, but not the actual wires that go in his helmet there, which sucks, but that's just a lot. But yeah, so the newer one, as you can see, is a lot more in scale to the actual face, and it's a lot more detailed as well. They've come a long way, so they have, Hot Toys, I'll say that much. So I've basically put the actual mandibles on them here, the more closed ones, and yeah, I kind of like the expression on this guy. I'm just seeing it again, and I actually really like how this one looks compared to this one. I've actually glossed over his head a little bit, because when I first got him, he wasn't like overall glossy looking, but with this one, everything on him is just basically glossy. That said, there was an actual version of the older ones, and it was like I think it was the Anicom Scar, which basically had a gloss body and a glossy head and a different expression. It was just basically the Elder Predator head that they used from AVP, but obviously recoloured the dreads and all that, and basically gave him the scarf to make it look like Scar Predator, obviously. And I think it was like damaged as well. So with the newer ones, like I mentioned, you get the opened mandibles as well. And if you guys want me, I will actually do this. If you guys want me to do an actual in-depth review of the newer Scar Predator, obviously the newer one, I will actually do it, because I'm just basically like out of ideas when it comes to these, and I'm just like looking at this right now thinking, I could actually do a video on him. I don't have the box. I think the box is out in my shed actually, or out in the shed should I say. But like I mentioned as well, the dreads on him, as you can see here, the copper parts there are slowly fading away. That's why I basically thought, fuck it, coloured them and stuff. And I do really like that. And the detail on the armour is much better compared to obviously how this guy looks. However, I will say I'm more a fan of this material that they used rather than this, because if you don't have this in a cabinet like myself, it will actually deteriorate, because it's like made of like a fake kind of I think it's pleather or something. It's like a fake leather material that they've used. And one thing that I really like about the newer ones than the older ones is the blades on this guy are just plastic. They still look really good. I'm not saying they're shit or anything, but compared to the actual die cast metal that they've used for these ones, and obviously the blades on the ceremonial dagger, which is this piece here, this is just plastic. But on this one, it's actually die cast metal, which is pretty sick if I do say so myself. Okay, so before I wrap up this video, I'll give you guys a look at the opened mouth on the Scar Predator. The new one, should I say. And I forgot to mention as well, with the newer, with the older one, I don't think I might have mentioned it. Obviously, you get this hand here, which is posable, and I just don't know why they don't do stuff like this anymore, because that's just a really cool thing that you can do with this guy. But I don't think they actually ended up doing again with the older, with the newer ones, like a posable hand. The only figure that I've noticed it on with the newer ones is like the Terminator, because that's like an endo, and obviously you can basically like have it moved and stuff. And I really do want to mention one thing that's a little, I mentioned it when I was reviewing this guy actually. If you look closely at this guy's eyes, his eyes are a lot more movie accurate. I mentioned this on my video. They're a lot more movie accurate, and I do really like the fact that these are just like one sculpt. The actual mandibles are just like one sculpt. Whereas this guy, like if you look down here, you can like see like the little seam on his mandibles, and there's just something about the eyes on. No, I take that back actually, the eyes are actually not too bad. They're a lot more, I don't know, it's just a little nitpick, I guess. I do remember his Scar Predator's eyes being a little bit more, not as like green, more of like a brownish kind of colour, I think they were. Like this guy. But these are still good. I really do recommend both of these figures, to be honest. I really do recommend both of them. Because I want to actually try to actually get his head and put it on that one, on the older one, to see how that looked. Because I was just curious, but I forgot that I had actually glued his head down a bit. Because when you're getting them out the box, you have to actually put some of the stuff on this guy, like the bones and stuff. I can't actually do a comparison of the bones on this guy because they're not actually from him. They're off of, like I mentioned, the old McFarlane P1, or the McFarlane Scar Predator that they made. But I'll give you guys a look at the back actually, because I never actually did that. Obviously on the newer one as well, they have like a light up feature as well. That's something that the newer ones have in abundance that the older ones don't have. I wish that his dreads were a little longer, like obviously not as bad as like how the older one is, but you guys can see what I mean. And I do like the fact on the newer one it has like a little bit of blood there on his spine trophy there that he has. So that's it at the back of them. And down here obviously the see, this one's just more of like a model kit though, but this one's just like fully just painted everywhere. But like I mentioned, you can't really pose this one too well. You only get like, I like the fact that the joints are really well hidden on this one. Like you can like see where the posability is on this guy. But with the older one, you can basically like pose him in any way. These ones are just like put him in a pose and then just leave him. So before I wrap up this video, because it's been a long one and I've enjoyed doing it for you guys, I forgot to mention one thing. With the newer ones, I'm not really sure if I did mention it, but with the newer ones, you'll notice that they're a lot more glossy and they look a little bit more slimier, as if it's like actual slime rather than these ones, which still look pretty good. And I did go over them with a little varnish on these ones just to make it a bit more glossy looking, and like obviously. So yeah, like I mentioned, with these, more slime on the newer ones, while the older ones don't really have that much. Well, none at all. So I'm going to wrap this video up now, guys. I hope you have enjoyed a look at these two, and like I mentioned at the start of the video, if you guys want a more in-depth review on this guy, write in the comments and I will definitely review him, because he is a really awesome figure with obviously the accessories and stuff. You don't really get that much accessories with this guy though, that's the only down thing. I think you only get a total of the fisted hands, this hand, like a hand to hold his spear, and like a hand like this. With this one you get like 2 of each, which is, I'm really surprised about that one, but the posable hand, like you don't get those kind of hands anymore. But anyway guys, I'm going to wrap this video up, and before as well, the writing on this one is larger than obviously this one, so whatever one is like your personal preference. And these ones appear I think that's just the way that the sellers actually had these before obviously I bought them, but they're a bit not really what's that word, they're a bit like as if it's like dust that's like settled into it and stuff. Well, these ones are like clean looking, so that's just mine. So yeah guys, I'm going to end this video here. I hope you've enjoyed a look at these two, the old and the new Scar Predator. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share and subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. And one thing as well I want to mention is you get 3 different lengths of the die-cast blades. You get obviously these big ones, the long ones, sorry, short ones, and ones that are like kind of like how these ones are. But anyway guys, take it easy. Cheers, thanks for watching.